Hi guys. Hi hot messers. This is Kathy again. Welcome to Taming a Hot Mess Life. The hot mess life we come from, the hot mess life we're working to tame, and the hot mess life we're learning to celebrate. I hope that you guys are all okay today. Sammy and I are in the car. I just had to pull over because my heart was heavy, and I just wanted to share with you some stuff that's going on in my heart in hopes that maybe it will help or speak to your heart. As you guys know, I've been going. I've been doing, and I've been busy. I've been staying busy. And that's been super awesome, and it's been super fun, but it's also kept me so busy that I haven't had time to really spend with myself. And things have slowed down. I got home on Monday from a weekend with my grandbabies, with my babies with babies, and I got sick. Sometimes I get sick from the airplane. I don't know if any of you get that, but I got my airplane sickness, and I've been in bed sleeping and just feeling horrible. I also fell again, like in true Kathy form. I fell down half the flight of stairs at the kids' house, and so my tailbone's been hurting. So I've been down. I've been in bed, sleeping, and then this weekend, I don't have any plans. I don't have any plans, which is weird for me. It's weird for the last several months because I've always had something scheduled, something planned, something to look forward to, something to do. And for the first time in a really long time, I am alone. And that's not a bad thing. It's just a new thing for me because I've just been going. So I have found myself being very weepy and very sad, and I'm looking at my life thinking, why? What do you have to be sad or weepy about? And then I realized I have all the things in the past, all the things that I've been so busy, not facing and not doing and not really thinking about. And they're all staring me in the face now that I'm facing quiet. And it's making me sad. It's making me weepy. It's making me feel a little bit ashamed for being sad and weepy, because I think I should be over all this stuff, because the calendar says it's been long enough. But my heart is saying, you probably haven't spent any time, so the calendar doesn't mean anything, right? So today I'm driving in the car, and I'm on my way to one of my friends. I'm bringing her some daffodils because she's recently lost someone that she's very close to, and I wanted to reach out to her and tell her how much I love her and how she isn't alone. And I just started bawling on the way over here. These tears just kept pouring out of me, and it's not because of the person or that she's lost, because that's not my connection, right? It breaks my heart for her, but it's not breaking my heart for me. And I'm trying to figure out why I'm crying. And I realize I'm crying because I'm alone. And I'm not alone in the sense that poor me, I'm alone. Like, I have you, and so many of you are in my physical life. Like, so many of you are in my Taming a Hot Mess life, and you're encouraging me that way, which is huge and amazing. But so many of you, I could pick up a phone and I could say, hey, I'm having a sad day. What are you doing? Can we meet for coffee? And I know that I would only have to call one or two people, and there would be no conflict, and we would be able to go. So I'm not alone in the sense that I'm alone. Poor me, I'm alone, I have no one. That isn't the case. I have so many someones. So many people that love me and would be there for me if I needed them. But I'm alone in the sense that I don't have the spouse, or my kids are so busy and they're so living their life that I can't just pop over and sit on their couch and watch them do whatever they're doing, right? I don't have those super core people that I had and that I think some form of me took for granted. And so I'm sad today, and I'm feeling a little sorry for myself, and I'm feeling a little shame in that, because everyone that I have is amazing. Everybody's healthy. Some people are going through some grief right now, and my heart's breaking for them. But most all of my people are healthy. And so I feel a little bit ashamed that I'm crying and that I'm feeling sorry for myself. But then I realize, no matter what it is we're going through, we're not all the way through it, right? No matter what you went through 6 months ago and you think that you're over it and you're good, you might start crying on a Friday afternoon because of it. You might find yourself, like I did a few weeks ago, buying rice in the grocery store and crying because it was the rice that your ex-husband used to buy, and it was wonderful, and you'd never thought of buying it, and he bought it, and now you're in the grocery store buying it, and you're crying. You never know when your pain or your grief or your sorrow or even your shame is going to creep back in and pay you a visit. And that's what's happening to me today. And it's kind of a mixture of all the things: the pain, the grief, the sorrow, and the shame for feeling it still. Like I really think I should be over it by now. And if anybody asked me, I'd be like, yeah, I'm totally over it. I don't think about him anymore. I don't worry about it. My life is awesome. And then it creeps back in, and I'm ashamed of myself. Why? Why are we ashamed of ourselves? Or why do we have that inner voice that punishes us for feeling? I don't know about you, but I've raised my kids to know that your feelings are your feelings, and they're never wrong. Never. So why am I wrong? Why am I telling myself I'm wrong? And so I just wanted to stop in and talk to any of you who are experiencing any of this. And maybe none of you are. I hope, it's my prayer that none of you are feeling like this, because it's awful. But if you are, and your tears just start flowing for no reason, and you're not even in a place where you should be crying, like grocery store, what is that? What does that trigger, right? Here's the deal. It's okay. It's okay if you start crying when you're buying rice in the middle of the grocery store with 30 other people in the same aisle looking at you like you're a crazy woman. It's okay. It's okay if you're driving on a Friday afternoon and all of a sudden you start crying. It's okay if you feel the urge to just purge out some tears. And I want you to know that it's okay. Now, if it gets to be so heavy that you can't stop those tears, or that those thoughts lead you in a different direction, and maybe you just start to spin out of control, that's when you need to call someone, okay? It's okay to have those feelings, but it's most important for you to recognize the severity of them. We don't always realize that a little bit of a crying fit could lead to something bigger. And I want you to think about that if something bigger starts to happen. If that little crying fit in the grocery store when you're buying rice continues to the car, and it continues with you while you're driving, and it continues with you when you get home, and then you start thinking thoughts of maybe you're not good enough, or you're never going to heal, or whatever, The minute you realize you're spinning, you need to call someone. You can call me. You can call your best friend. Call your mom. Call anybody. Call a hotline if you want to. But call. And I've always said, feel all the feels. Take as long as you need. But don't spend any extra time there. So, kind of twofold. My message is twofold. Don't spin out to where you can't get back. Because it's hard to get back when you're spinning by yourself. But allow yourself to have some of those feelings. And I want you to give yourself some grace to realize that it might be 6 months or 9 months or, in my case, damn near a year. And if you're still crying, it's okay. All right? I know that you guys know I swear a lot, and I don't profess to be the best Christian, but I'm super faithful. And I talk to God all day long. And when I get in those moments where I start to spin out, I pull out my Bible. And I just open it. And I open it, I'll turn a page, or I'll close it and open it in a new spot until I find a verse that speaks to me. It always happens. So another thing, if you don't have a friend that you can call, find your Bible and open it. And open it and close it and open it and close it until you find the one verse that speaks to you. And then read it over and over and over again and let it heal. Let it bring you the balm that your heart needs. So today, I'm driving. I don't have my Bible with me. But I pulled over and I just Googled God's promises. Because I know that He doesn't want us to live crying. He doesn't want us to live in shame. He doesn't want us to live in guilt. And He always provides a new sunrise, right? Like He always provides a rainbow. So I Googled God's promises. And the one that spoke to me the most, the website or the thing that came up was God's 5 promises. And they're all amazing. I encourage you to go Google God's 5 promises because they are amazing. But the one that speaks to me the most, and it's the most reoccurring word in my vocabulary, is grace. So I want to share this with you. And it's Friday afternoon. I'm probably the only person on the planet who's crying at 4 o'clock on a Friday. Everybody's probably getting ready to be done with work and looking forward to your weekend. I'm not. I'm crying. So here's my message for you anytime that you're crying. It doesn't have to be on a Friday. 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9. It says, "And He has said to me, my grace is sufficient for you. For power is perfected in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, I will rather boast about my weakness, so that the power of Christ may dwell within me." I don't know how many times I've heard and I've said, His grace is sufficient. I've prayed to God, I know that your grace is sufficient. And I know that you, Lord, are sufficient. So why should I be mourning the loss of someone when you're sufficient? And your grace is sufficient. And you always provide for me. So this verse really spoke to me. And I'll read it to you one more time because it gets me every time. And he has said to me, my grace is sufficient for you. For power is perfected in weakness. He is blessed, or His grace is more evident when we're weak. So those of you who have been following me know that I've got a lot of grace because I've been through a lot. I've been so weak, and yet He brings me up. He brings me the power. He brings me the strength that I can laugh. And I don't know how many of you know me, but I'm pretty funny when I'm not crying. I'm pretty funny, and half the time I'm pretty funny when I am crying. That's not me. That's God. That's God working through me. That's His grace providing me His power because He is sufficient. And then I looked up what grace means in the dictionary. And grace means unmerited divine assistance given to humans for the regeneration or sanctification. Unmerited divine assistance given to humans. We don't deserve it. We don't deserve His grace at all. And how amazing is that He gives it so freely. I have to just stop in amazement and remind myself that, okay, it's all right if I have tears. It's okay if I'm sad. It's okay if the life that I thought I had, I thought was pretty wonderful. Now looking back on it, I realized there was a lot of holes. There were a lot of things that I'm happy to not have today. But there are a lot of things that I miss that I took for granted. And I don't know if I took them for granted, actually. I don't think that I did. But there are a lot of things that I had that I miss. And just because it's been almost a year doesn't mean I'm not going to miss them. And it doesn't mean that I'm not going to cry over them occasionally. I'm crying way less, like way less. But it's still going to happen. And I need to not be so ashamed of myself, to not let myself feel the feels, right? Grace is approval. It's favor, it's mercy, it's pardon, it's privilege. It's a temporary exemption, a reprieve. So, there you go. As always, I'm not a minister. I am not the picture of Christianity. I swear all the time. I partake in alcohol. I'm not the picture of Christianity, but I am faithful. And I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for my relationship with Jesus Christ. And I'm not for everyone. So if I'm too preachy, or if I'm too much or too extra, which we always say I'm just too extra, then wait until the next one, because the next video I'm sure I'll swear or something will happen, and that's just who I am. But I wanted to speak to who you are today. And if you are struggling, go with it. Let yourself cry. Let yourself feel the feels. Let yourself be you, and realize that you are perfectly made. There's nobody else like you. You're amazing. You're not alone. You're never alone. There's always somebody there for you. So have courage, have strength. Know that you're propelled by grace. And you're wonderfully, perfectly made. So there you go. I love you. God bless you. This was a long one. Didn't mean for it to be so long, but there you have it. God bless each and every one of you. Today is Friday, the first Friday in March. Make it a wonderful weekend. Be safe. Be good to yourselves and be good to those around you. Bye.